Sorry about that. But good Wednesday morning, everybody. Welcome to our NFL Week 12 predictions. You may be surprised that we are doing this on a Wednesday. The reason being is tomorrow is Thanksgiving. The games start early, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope you have an amazing day. Celebrate with your friends and family. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But anyway, we're doing it on a Wednesday, so I could get this up and in for tomorrow. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Last week was pretty long and all that with the fantasy stuff. We are still going to do the fantasy stuff this week, especially since a lot of you guys are still very much in the midst of your playoff chases. So we're going to do that this week. But I want to get right into it. I definitely want this episode to be much shorter than last time. But so, yeah, we're going to get right into it here with the playoff probabilities as we just started. We'll do playoff probabilities, game probabilities, and for each game, we'll do fantasy advice. And then at the end, I'll pick the game that I think is most likely to end up in a tie. Thank goodness we've had no ties this year, so that's all I want to say about that. Anyway, let's get to work, though. We'll go first with I'll name a team. I'll give you their current record, their projected record, their playoff chance, their division chance, their conference chance, and their Super Bowl chance. Sorry, I'm looking at the computer for this, but anyway, here we go. Without further ado. Miami Dolphins, I have them currently at 7-3, 12-5 projected, 95% playoff chance, 88% division chance, 10% conference chance, 5% Super Bowl chance. Buffalo Bills, 6-5 at the moment, 10-7 projected record, 40% playoff chance, 10% division chance, 6% conference chance, 2% Super Bowl chance. New York Jets, I have them at 4-6, 6-11 projected record, 12% playoff chance, 1% division chance, 1% conference chance, and a 1% Super Bowl chance. New England Patriots, 2-8 at the moment, 5-12 projected record, 2% playoff chance, 1% division chance, 1% conference chance, and a 1% Super Bowl chance. Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North now. I have them at 8-3. I have 11-6 projected record, 94% playoff chance, 30% division chance, 26% conference chance, 10% Super Bowl chance. Cleveland Browns, they're currently 7-3. I have them finishing 13-4. Playoff chance, 80%, 35% division chance, 10% conference chance, 3% Super Bowl chance. Pittsburgh Steelers, 6-4 current record, 11-6 projected record, 50% playoff chance, 20% division chance, 3% conference chance, 2% Super Bowl chance. Cincinnati Bengals, 5-5 at the moment, projected record 8-9, 37% playoff chance, 15% division chance, 2% conference chance, 1% Super Bowl chance. AFC South, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars at 7-3, 12-5 projected, 95% playoff chance, 75% division chance, 15% conference chance, 6% Super Bowl chance. Texans, 6-4 at the moment, 10-7 projected record, 48% playoff chance, 20% division chance, 2% conference chance, 2% Super Bowl chance. Colts of Indianapolis, I have you guys currently 5-5, 6-11 projected record, 27% playoff chance, 4% division chance, 1% conference chance, and a 1% Super Bowl chance. Titans of Tennessee, you guys are 3-7 in the moment. I project you at 6-11, 2% playoff chance, 1% division chance, 1% conference chance, and a 1% Super Bowl chance. AFC West now, Kansas City, sitting at 7-3 following the loss to Philadelphia. I'm 12-5 projected, 99% playoff chance, 97% division chance, 17% conference chance, and a 12% Super Bowl chance. Denver Broncos, they're currently sitting at 5-5, 10-7 projected though, 48% playoff chance, 1% division chance, 3% conference chance, and a 1% Super Bowl chance. Vegas Raiders, they're 5-6, 9-8 projected record, 29% playoff chance, 1% division chance, 1% conference chance, and a 1% Super Bowl chance. LA Chargers, 4-6 at the moment, 5-12 projected record, 22% playoff chance, 1% division chance, 1% conference chance, and a 1% Super Bowl chance. On to the NFC now. We are moving very quickly, so that's a good thing. Philadelphia Eagles, 9-1, 13-4 projected record, 99% playoff chance, 92% division chance, 32% conference chance, 16% division chance. Dallas Cowboys, 7-3 at the moment, 10-7 projected, 91% playoff chance, 6% division chance, 5% conference chance, and a 3% Super Bowl chance. Commanders of Washington, they're 4-7 at the moment. I project them to go 5-12. 22% playoff chance, 1% division chance, 1% conference chance, and a 1% Super Bowl chance. Giants 3-8 at the moment, 6-11 projected, 2% playoff, 1% division, 1% conference, and 1% Super Bowl chance. The NFC North season now. Detroit Lions 8-2. I project them to 13-4. 99% playoff chance, 90% division chance, 24% conference chance, 10% Super Bowl chance. Vikings of Minnesota are 6-5 at the moment. I have them at 9-8 to finish the season out. 70% playoff chance, 7% division chance, 3% conference chance, 2% Super Bowl chance. Packers of Green Bay. Let's go, Pack. I'm kind of a fan of Pack now. 4-6, 7-10 projected record, 34% of playoff chance, 2% division chance, 1% conference chance, and 1% Super Bowl chance. Chicago Bears are 3-8 at the moment. I project them to go 5-12, 4% playoff chance, 1% division chance, 1% conference chance, 1% Super Bowl chance. NFC South now. New Orleans Saints. 5-5 at the moment, 8-9 projected, 58% playoff chance, 60% division chance, 3% conference chance, 2% Super Bowl chance. Atlanta Falcons 4-6 at the moment, 6-11 projected, 40% playoff chance, 20% division chance, 1% conference chance, 1% Super Bowl chance. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 4-6 at the moment, 6-11 projected, 16% playoff chance, 18% division chance, 1% conference chance, and 1% Super Bowl chance. And finally, the Carolina Panthers sitting at 1-9 in a lot of hot water down in Charlotte, so not good for them. 5-12 projected, 1% playoff chance, 2% division chance, 1% conference chance, and a 1% Super Bowl chance. Until a team is eliminated, I give them at least a 1% Super Bowl chance. On to the NFC West Division. The San Francisco 49ers, they're 7-3 right now. I project them to go 13-4, 95% playoff chance, 80% division chance, 20% conference chance, and a 6% Super Bowl chance. Seattle Seahawks 6-4 at the moment, 9-8 projected, 78% playoff chance, 15% division chance, 4% conference chance, 2% Super Bowl chance. LA Rams are 4-6 right now. I project them though to go 8-9, 40% playoff chance, 4% division chance, 1% conference, and a 1% Super Bowl chance as well. Finally, last but not least, as of now, the Arizona Cardinals, they're 2-9. 3-14. I project them to go 2% playoff chance and 1% chance at division, conference, and Super Bowl. Anyway, though, that's all I have for that regards. Now let's get on to Week 12. Here's how this will go. I will give my prediction for each game, and then I will give you my fantasy advice for each game as well. We got the iPad up here ready. So let me punch that in first. Sorry, I'm covering my face up. I just want to punch the iPad. Alrighty. We're all good to go. Alright, without further ado, here we go. We're going to get right into this here. We're going to go right into my predictions for the week, and we're going to start out in Detroit for tomorrow's Lions-Packers game to kick off the Thanksgiving feast. It'll definitely be an exciting game, that is for sure, to kick off Thanksgiving, to kick off this holiday celebration, but I think it'll be a more exciting day for the Lions. I think they dominate the Packers at first, but then the Packers come back, as I scroll down and try to get ahead of myself. I think the Lions come back, or the Packers come back and make this a game, but I don't think it's that close of a game in the very end. I am going to take the Lions to win this one. Give me Detroit. Final score, 28 for the Lions, 23 for the Green Bay Packers. For this one, I have Green Bay 65, or Detroit 65% win probability, Green Bay 34% win probability. For my starts and sits of this game, some of these are pretty obvious. I was embarrassed last week with my Jared Goff prediction. I thought it'd easily be a top 5 quarterback. He did awful. He still got 20 points in my one league, but did awful, so yeah. I'm not going to put him on my starts this week. One man I am going to put on my starts this week, hopefully it's not a curse, is Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, this is a must start this week. He's really been dominant. I think he's a good start for the week for sure. Another must start for this week, tight end Sam Laporta. I think Laporta bounces back for sure, and he has a big week for sure. I don't know about Amon-Ra. I play against Amon-Ra this week, so I'm not going to say anything about Amon-Ra. In terms of the Packers, a good start for them would be running back A.J. Dillon. I think Dillon has a big day for sure. I don't know about Love. I think Love would not be a good start. In fact, I would probably sit Jordan Love, to be honest, against this Detroit defense. They're going to be feisty after letting Fields do what he did. I would sit Love. I would also sit Christian Watson. And I would sit, believe it or not, the Lions defense, because I think that second half will ruin them. So there's my start sits at that game. Your starts obviously are Gibbs, Laporta, and A.J. Dillon. I would sit Jordan Love, Christian Watson, and the Lions defense. I don't have many notes from this game. Now on to Washington and Dallas. I think this is a very close Thanksgiving one. I think it comes down to the final minutes. I think the Commanders play hard and don't give up. But in the end, I think Dallas still wins this game. Give me Dallas 38-31. Dallas, I have them at an 81% win probability. Commanders, 18% win probability. This one's pretty obvious. I would probably, if I were the Commanders, I would sit Sam Howell. I would sit Terry McLaurin. And I would also sit Brian Robinson. I don't think there's any good starts this week for the Commanders, to be honest with you. So that's all I have to say there. Possibly a good start would be tight end Logan Thomas. I think he might have a big day, but that's about it. A great start, I think, in this game is going to be wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb goes off this week. He has one of his best weeks yet. He's on the rise for sure. CeeDee Lamb, amazing start this week. And another good start this week would be tight end Jake Ferguson. I think he is going to have a big day as well. CeeDee and Jake, must starts this week. San Fran at Seattle Seahawks. This will be a close game for sure. It's going to come down to the final minute or two, but in the end, I think San Francisco finds a way to win this game. Give me the 49ers, 27-24. Sorry to burp. First time today, believe it or not. 12 minutes in, so there we go. Good thing. San Francisco, I have them with 68% win probability. Seattle, 31% win probability. My starts for this game, for the 49ers, I would start running back Christian McCaffrey. That's for sure. I think he has a humongous day. Start McCaffrey. And I would also probably start the Niners defense. They've been looking good. They've been looking dominant. I'd start that Niners defense, that's for sure. For the Seahawks, a good start for the week would be, I think Tyler Lockett's going to go off this week. I really do. I think Tyler Lockett's poised, and he's ready for a big week. Give me Lockett as a must start. My sits for the week are as follows. I would sit Debo. I was disappointed in the last week with Mr. Debo Samuel. I think he's a sit for the week. Seattle, I definitely think I would sit Geno Smith. And this is a very surprising sit for me. I would also sit running back Zach Charbonnet. I picked him up in both my leagues. I have him on both my teams now, but I think he's a sit this week because they're playing against San Francisco's Russ, and I think San Francisco's Russ will just own him. So sit Zach Charbonnet. That's my advice. And start Tyler Lockett, because I think Lockett's going to have a huge week. And I hope he does, to be honest. Miami at the Jets, Black Friday football for the first time ever. This will definitely be an interesting one. That is for sure. I just think the Dolphins are the better team. I think this is a closer game than most people expect. But in the end, I have the Dolphins in this one. Give me them 24-20. Miami, 60% win probability. New York Jets, 39%. It seems like the NFL always picks the worst games for these holidays. The Thanksgiving slate this year's kind of good, but Black Friday slate is horrible. Like, they did it with Denver last year. Like, why do we have to have all these, like, hyped pomp and Sean Payne was right about that. Like, why do we have to have all these pomp and circumstance teams out there? So, yeah, that's for sure. For the Dolphins in this game, I would sit Tua Tagovailoa. That is exactly what I am doing this week in the league I have Tagovailoa, and I'm sitting Tua. I would sit him. I would start, though, Tyreek Hill for sure. He's a must-start every week. He'll go off this week, even on sauce. I think he might not put up his normal value, but he'll go off for sure. I'd also start, I think this is probably a good week to start Raheem Mostert. I think he has a big day for sure, and he gets just enough to help the Dolphins. There's not many other starts and sits I have for Miami. For the Jets, though, I would sit at all costs Garrett Wilson. He's going to struggle this week big time. It's sad to see him not get much receptions with the quarterback play, but yeah, I'm saying Garrett Wilson. I'm starting, though, Breece Hall, because I think Breece Hall has a big week. Starting Breece Hall for sure. And I'm also sitting the Jets defense, because I think this Dolphins offense will pick them apart. So, yeah. That's all I have for those. Giants hosting the New England Patriots this week. This will be another game that comes down to the wire that'll be interesting, that's for sure. In the end, though, I think New England is the better team over the Giants, and I think New England wins this one. Give me the Patriots. Final score, 17-13. New England, I have 56% win probability. New York Giants, I have at a 43% win probability. For the Patriots, starts I would have in this game, I really like Ramondre Stevenson. In this game, I think he's going to have a big week, unfortunately, because I play against him. I think Demario Douglas has a huge week. And I think Saquon Barkley goes off. I really do. I think Saquon Barkley is a big week for the Giants this week. My sits for the week, I really don't have many sits. I hate to say it, there's not a lot of talent in this game, so I don't have many sits. So I'm just going to pass on that. So no sits for the week in that game. No. If you don't have any of those guys, Stevenson, Douglas, or Barkley, just sit everybody in this game. So that's all I have to say. Pittsburgh at Cincy. I'm only going to talk about this for fantasy purposes. So yeah, Pittsburgh in this game, I would sit Kenny Pickett at all cost. He has been doing awful. Sit him for sure. A start this week I have, though, is running back Jaylen Warren. He's going to go off this week for sure. He is a must start in all leagues this week. Start Warren. And also start Deontay Johnson. My sits for this game, I have 2 sits for Cincinnati. Well, first we'll do my 1 start of the week I have for Cincinnati. That is running back Joe Mixon. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to take a telephone call real quick. But anyway, a start for this week, as I try to readjust the camera, would be running back Joe Mixon. I think he's definitely a really good start for the week, especially with the young QB. I think it's a big day for Mixon, so give me big day for Mixon. For the sits for this week, I would sit wide receiver Jamar Chase and wide receiver T. Higgins. I think the Bengals are going to keep the ball on the ground this week a lot, especially with the Steelers' run defense. They have to keep the ball on the ground, so big day coming for Mixon. Slow day for the receivers. On, though, to the next game we're actually going to predict here. The Jaguars and the Texans. Control of the AFC South is on the line. This is a big game in H-Town for sure. Texans are hot. CJ Stroud, Tank Dell, all those guys are looking real good right now. However, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be a little too much this week for them. I don't think the Jaguars want to get swept. I don't think they will get swept. Give me Jacksonville by a final score of 31-28 in a shootout in H-Town. Sorry to burp. Jacksonville 59% win probability. Houston 40% win probability. My starts for the week are as follows. I expect a big day from Christian Kirk and Travis Etienne. Big days coming for those two guys. For sure. Maybe even 2 touchdowns for Etienne. And a big day for sure from Tank Dell. I think he's the top receiver in Houston for sure. Keep starting him. I'm starting him in all my leagues. I love the guy. Keep starting Tank Dell. I'll just say that right now. For sits for the week, I would personally sit wide receiver Calvin Ridley. I think he had a big week last week. Don't expect him to do it again this week. That's a big sit this week. I would also sit tight end Dalton Schultz. I don't think Schultz does as good this week. I think Jacksonville takes him away. Another one I would sit this week would be tight end Evan Ingram. I think a lot of the reps will go to Kirk and ETN, and I think Ingram is not a good option this week. Sorry, I'm so it's just, why do I have to get so many notifications while I'm filming? I don't know why, but yeah. Filming and driving, those two things are the worst. Like, I get a million notifications when I'm filming and when I'm driving. But when I'm just sitting, doing nothing, I get none. Explain that. Worst time for everything. But anyway, though, as we continue on now, we are already into the 4 o'clock game. Or no, we're not. We're not, actually. Carolina at Tennessee here. This will be definitely an interesting game for sure, as another notification pops up. Not an emergency, though. But I think this game will be close. I'm actually going to pick the upset here. I'm taking the Carolina Panthers, and here is why. Tennessee has looked awful the past couple weeks, and I mean awful. This team doesn't have it. I don't know if Will Levis is the answer. The Titans should start to panic, and panic now. They are just not the team that we need. So I think the Panthers are in, or the Titans, I'm sorry. I continue to get notifications. I don't know why. The Titans are in a lot of trouble. So I'm taking Carolina in this one. Give me Carolina by a final score of 21-17. Carolina, I have them with a 51% chance of victory. Tennessee, 48% chance of victory. My starts for the week are as follows. Carolina, I'm blanking because I don't know if I actually have many starts. I do have a start. I'll just say it. Adam Thielen. I think he's going to have a big day. Start Adam Thielen. I needed to come up with somebody. These matchups, I mean, it's so hard to find somebody who I would legitimately start because there's really no talent on much of these teams. So I'm just going to say it. Start Adam Thielen. Also start the Panthers defense. They're going to have a big week for sure. For the Titans, I would start Derrick Henry. He's been awful the past 2 weeks. He is about due for a bounce back week. So start Derrick Henry. That's my must start of the week. Henry. Sits for the week or falls. If I didn't name you and you're on the Panthers, to the bench you go. Big sit this week, Miles Sanders. I think the Titans take away Miles Sanders. I don't think he has a good week at all. For the Titans, I would absolutely positively sit Will Levis, and I would absolutely positively sit DeAndre Hopkins. I don't think they have good days at all, so those are my 2 sits of the week. On now to the next one. We are almost done with the 1 o'clock games here. Tampa Bay at Indianapolis Colts. I think this will be a close game for sure. However, in the end, I think the Bucs are a little bit better. They have a lot of momentum. They're playing much better than they did last year. And I think they've been playing much better in the past couple of weeks. Give me Tampa Bay to win this game. Final score 28-24. Tampa Bay 56% win probability. New Orleans or Indianapolis 43% win probability. My starts for this game, I would start Rachaad White. I think he has a big week for sure, so start White. Start Mike Evans. I think he goes off this week. So, yeah. My 1 start for the Colts, and I think this is a big week for him because he's due for one. Michael Pittman Jr. Remember the name this week. Michael Pittman Jr. He is a must start, and I think he goes off this week. Sits for this game, I would definitely sit wide receiver Chris Godwin and quarterback Baker Mayfield. They are obvious sets. I don't think they do anything this week, so sit them both. And my 1 sit of the week for the Colts, I don't think he has a good week at all, is Jonathan Taylor. I think this is going to go down as one of his worst weeks of the regular season. So I would sit Jonathan Taylor. On to the next one here. We're almost running out of time, or we're not almost running out of time. This is our last 1 o'clock game before we get into 4 o'clock games, and that is the New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. Definitely an interesting game for sure in the ATL. I think this will be a close one. I think this will be an interesting one. But in the end, New Orleans is much better right now. They're playing much better. Give me New Orleans in this one by a final score of 20-17. Starts in this game as I get on my next piece of paper for the fantasy. I would start Alvin Kamara. I think he's going to have a big week. Falcons. I'm starting Drake London and Kyle Pitts. I think this is their bounce back week. They're about due for a huge bounce back week. So start Drake London and start Kyle Pitts. For the Falcons, I would also, for these games, I would sit. This is going to come as a surprise. But I would sit. I'm going to pick a couple guys. More so one in particular because there's not really much more people I can think of on these other teams. But I'd say Chris Olave. I don't think he has a good week at all this week. If he even plays. Say Chris Olave. And this is a big one. You guys definitely should know this. I'm sitting him. The guy I'm talking about is Bijan Robinson. Sit Bijan Robinson this week. He plays against a tough defense. He hasn't been that good this year. This is a must-sit week for Bijan Robinson. Do not start him. I'm not starting him, so neither should you. Sit Bijan Robinson. And that's a good marketing ad. I'm not starting him, so neither should you, don't you think? Yeah. 4 o'clock time now. We're on to the 4 o'clock games. Cleveland at Denver. I think this is going to be a close one. I cannot wait to watch this one. It's going to be tough for me to pick which one to watch, this one or the Buffalo-Philly one, since they are both on in our market. Interesting game for sure. In the end, I think the Broncos keep their winning streak alive and sneak out a victory over the Cleveland Browns. Give me Denver in this one, 21-16. I didn't do probabilities for the last couple ones. No, I didn't. Tampa Bay, 56%. Indianapolis, 43% for that game. New Orleans, 54%. Atlanta, 45%. And for this game, I have Denver with 52% win probability. Cleveland, 47%. My starts of the week, and this is a must start for the Browns, is Amari Cooper. I think he goes off this week. I really do. I think against that offense, they're going to expect a lot of Russ. I think they take that away early and often, and I think they Fred Cooper a lot. So, yeah. Especially since I play against him, that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Another must start this week, and I'd start both these guys. Quarterback, Russell Wilson. I think this is a big week for sure for Russell Wilson. He's going to play against a tough defense, but I think he bounces back. That's for sure. Russell Wilson's a must start. Another must start this week is Courtland Sutton. So must start Courtland Sutton. That's for sure. Those are my 3 starts of the week. Cooper, Wilson, and Sutton. Sits of the week. I would sit tight end David Njoku. I picked one guy I'm going to play against to start. Now I have to pick one to sit. I'd sit Njoku because I think Cooper's going to get a lot of those reps. I would also sit this week running back Javonte Williams. I'm picking all guys I'm playing against because I'm playing against a lot of people in this game. So, yeah. Javonte Williams, I would sit him. And I would also sit Jerry Jeudy because, again, I think Courtland Sutton's going to get a lot of reps and stuff. So, yeah. Sit Jerry Jeudy. So, my starts of this week are Cooper, Wilson, and Sutton. My sits are Njoku, Williams, and Jeudy. Now on to Rams and Cardinals in the desert. This will be an interesting game, that is for sure. However, in the end, I think the Rams win. I think they're on a hot streak now. They're getting their mojo back. Things are getting better for them. So, give me the Rams in this one. Final score, 28-24. Rams, 73% chance of victory. Cardinals, 26% chance of victory. For this one, my must starts of the week, I would start Puka Nacua if he is healthy and he plays. Hopefully he does because I have him. Start Puka. That is for sure. Another good start would be Tyler Higbee. I think Higbee goes off for sure this week. And another start is tight end Trey McBride for the Cardinals. I think Trey McBride has a nice week for Arizona, making him a good start. My sits of the week, Kyler Murray. I would definitely sit Kyler Murray this week. I don't think he does a whole lot, so sit Kyler. My other sits for the week are running back Darrell Henderson Jr. I would not start Henderson Jr. I don't think he gets a lot of playing time, and I don't think he's going to go off this week. So sit Henderson Jr. And also sit this Rams defense. I don't think they play up to the expectations people expect them to play, so sit the Rams D. That's for sure. On to Sin City now. Chiefs and the Raiders. I think the Chiefs, the line set at 9.5 for Kansas City. I think the Chiefs cover in this game. However, I think the Raiders will play tough and play close early on. However, in the second half, I just think the Chiefs pull away in this one. Give me Kansas City 34, Raiders 24. Kansas City, I have them at a 96 win probability, and the Raiders 3%. So not very good for them. My starts of the week, I would start wide quarterback Patrick Mahomes. I think he's going to go off this week. I think this is going to be one of his best weeks of the year. He's motivated and all fired up after last week. Start Mahomes. He's going to go off. Another start this week I have as wide receiver Rashee Rice. I think Rashee Rice has a big week for sure, and I think he's a good start. Another start I would have is Davante Adams. I think Davante Adams has a huge week this week. So Davante Adams, I think he's a good start for the week. Sits for the week. Again, Taylor Swift is not going to be at this game, so he's going to be on tour. Therefore, I am sitting Travis Kelce. He typically, except for this past week, does better when Swift is in attendance. Sit Kelce this week if you have him. I think he has a dud this week, so sit Kelce. Never sit for the week. Running back Josh Jacobs and wide receiver Jacoby Myers. I don't think any of those guys have big weeks this week. That is for sure. So sit those guys. Now onto this one. 3 more games left, so don't worry, you're not going to have to deal with me much longer. So it's probably a good thing because I'm getting a little bit tired. So yeah. Buffalo at Philly. This will be a close game, that's for sure. I think it's going to be interesting, especially since Philly just came off that major win over the Chiefs. I think they keep their momentum going and improve to 10-1. Give me Philly in this one. Final score, Eagles 27, Bills 21. Philly, I have them with 52% win probability. Buffalo, I have them with 47% win probability. Starts for this one. I would start Stephon Diggs. I think he's going to go off this week. I think this is one of his better weeks, and he keeps them in this. So start Diggs. Another good start is a guy on the Philadelphia Eagles. The guy I'm talking about is DeAndre Swift. I think Swift is a very good start this week. I think he's going to go off this week and have a huge week. So start DeAndre Swift, that's for sure. Another start I have for this week is the Philadelphia Eagles defense and special teams. They did great last week against Kansas City. I think they follow that up with another great performance. Start the Eagles D. Sits for the week, I'm sitting Josh Allen. He plays against a tougher defense. You saw Mahomes last week against Philly. Didn't do that great. Sit Josh Allen this week. Sit Gabe Davis this week. He's not going to do anything. And also, I would sit for the Eagles Dallas Goedert. I don't think he's going to have a big week either. So sit Goedert. And then 2 more games now as we move along here. I'm sorry I'm trying to be so quick with you guys. It's just we got a lot between the fantasy advice, fantasy football stuff, and the predictions and the probabilities. So, yeah. Only reason we brought fantasy advice into this is because we're getting late into the fantasy season, and I want to give you guys advice in the second half to help you guys win your leagues. Baltimore Ravens at the Chargers. This won't be a good game. It's a terrible Sunday night game. Chargers are awful. They lost to the Packers, who are okay. They're not great. They're not bad. They're just okay. So I'm taking the Ravens in this one easily. 34-14. Give me the Ravens. Baltimore, I have them 53% win probability. Chargers, I have them with 46% win probability. This game's either going to go one of two ways. The Ravens are going to blow them out, or the Chargers are going to sneak out a win. I think it's the former. I think the Ravens blow them out. So give me Baltimore. Must start of the week in this one, quarterback Lamar Jackson. I think he has an amazing week for sure. Start Lamar. I also see this as a bounce-back game for wide receiver Zay Flowers, especially with Mark Andrews out. Start Zay Flowers. He's a good one to start. I would start for the Chargers wide receiver Keenan Allen. I think he's going to bounce back this week. He's going to put up another huge week. Start Keenan Allen. Sits of the week. I think Baltimore, a nice sit for the week would be Gus Edwards. I don't expect a big day out of Gus Edwards at all. So sit Gus Edwards for sure. 2 sits now for the Chargers. I would sit Austin Ekeler. I don't expect anything out of Austin Ekeler this week. I think both him and Herbert struggle against this Baltimore defense for sure. Those are my 2 sits of the week. Herbert and Ekeler both. Do not start either of them. They're going to struggle against this Baltimore defense. Final game here now. This is definitely an interesting one for sure. Bears go to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Both these teams lost heartbreaking close games last week. Chicago to Detroit, obviously. And Minnesota at Denver. So that was good for the Lions for sure. And maybe even the Packers, so because they're still in it too. So it might be good for both teams. So yeah. But this one, I think it's going to be close. Obviously, it's going to be a one-score game because it's the Vikings, and they play every game to a one-score game if you didn't already know that. So, yeah. In this one, though, I'm going to take the Vikings, 24-21. 91% win probability for Minnesota, 8% for Chicago. So, yeah. Why is this, little thing coming into the screen? I'm sorry about that. It's just a little weird face here in the background. If you can see the lighting there, I don't know why it's... Whenever I move the pen, I don't get it. But anyway, we're going to cover that up. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, we're going to go do starts and sits now. For the Bears, I would start Justin Fields. I think it's a big day for Justin Fields. That is for sure. Start Justin Fields this week in fantasy. Another must start this week. I would start DJ Moore. I think he's going to go off this week. I imagine a big day out of a guy named DJ Moore. So yeah, start him. Another guy I would start, and I'm starting him at quarterback. I already said I'm sitting Tua at quarterback. I'm starting my other guy. That's good. That guy is named Joshua Dobbs. Think Josh Dobbs has a big week this week? I don't think I'm going to regret that decision at all. I think Josh Dobbs is going to go off. Start Josh Dobbs. Sits for the week, I would sit tight end Cole Kmet. I don't think he does anything, even if he does play. I hope he does. I hope he's healthy. So hopefully he does play. Sit Cole Kmet. I'd also sit Alexander Madison. And I would also sit Jordan Addison. I think they're going to cover him well this week. I think Hawkinson's going to get a lot of reps and playing time, but sit Jordan Addison. Anyway, that's all I have for this video today. I was trying to be as quick as possible. The one game I think could end in a tie, if any game ends in a tie, is that Cleveland versus Denver game. That's the one game I imagine might end in a tie. So that's my tie pick of the week. Cleveland and Denver. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys all have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy tomorrow with your families. Have a good one. Take care. Stay safe. Happy Thanksgiving. Pray for Israel. And as always, peace. See you guys for the recaps on Tuesday.